Lindsay the Frugal Crafter, and you're watching Home and Garden for Mere Mortals. Today I'm going to share my favorite holiday decorating hacks. They're not going to take a lot of time and it's not going to cost a lot of money. I think the whole purpose of decorating your home for the holidays is to make it feel warm and inviting to your family and friends, and that doesn't have to cost a dime. So let's go and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, since we're right here, let's start with the mantle. I think it's a great idea to use what you have, and I've had these candle holders for a while, and I think anything with brown, green, or red is fair game as far as a holiday display for me. That clock is on my mantle year round, but it felt a little short, so I just took a book and I used that for some dimension. Any book that you have that has some gold, the printing looks really great. And if you're my husband, you think the Road Warrior also adds some really wonderful holiday dimension to your display. These were made by wrapping string around a paper cone and then removing the cone. And I'm going to put a link to a playlist with all of the DIYs that I mentioned today. The wreath up there, that was, oh hello, I'm in the mirror. That was made with a cardboard ring that I covered with burlap. It was so easy and fun to make. Now this old boot is kind of funny. I actually put a mason jar inside, filled it with water, then went outside and I just trimmed off some pine and some spruce branches and stuck them in there along with some berry picks that I found at the Dollar Tree. And this is just an old ornament that I thought would look pretty wired in there in that display. I'm also using some burlap ribbon and some burlap fabric there, and you could find that pretty inexpensively at any home decor store or any craft store. And those were silver words, and I painted them because silver didn't really go with my display. I prefer gold, but you know, use what you have, and if it's not perfect, add a little paint. It's so easy. Another holiday hack is if you have ornaments that are always falling over, or maybe the cat's always knocking them down, like my little Rudolph figurines, I put them on a cake plate underneath the dome that came with the set. I mean, really, how often do you use your cake plates? So this is a great way to use it. And then I put the bun bowl kind of on top, terrorizing the whole thing. This will also make it a lot easier to dust all your little knickknacks. So if you have a covered cake plate, go ahead and use it for your holiday display. The Christmas trees there are made from duct tape. That's from a tutorial I did last year, and I'll put that in the video description as well. I love stained glass items, especially for the holidays, but the chain on this was a little too short to hang in my window, and it really wasn't strong enough to use a suction cup. So what I did was I put a little brad up in the molding up high and tied a long red ribbon to it. So there it hangs exactly where I want. The ribbon looks festive, and I'm able to make use of that pretty stained glass piece that I have. These little Christmas trees are simply foam cones covered in burlap, and then I made some little fabric, little ribbon roses, and tucked them in. I also added some sequins and some little pearls just with little sequin pins, and you can find that stuff right at the Dollar Tree. And oh, there's a picture of me and my husband when we got married. But that was a quick way to decorate my kitchen windowsill. For a rustic outdoor display, I took an old weathered sled and leaned it up against my woodpile on my porch, and then threw a pair of old ice skates over the tines of the sleigh, and then I just filled it with some greens that were growing in my yard. Now if you don't have access to evergreen boughs, you can actually go to your home improvement store if they sell Christmas trees, and you can pick up some clippings there for free. I added a red bow and a snowflake ornament, and that was done. A couple of years ago I invested in some evergreen bough, artificial evergreen boughs, and they cost about $4 each, and it took me $12 to cover my porch, and for under $20 I was able to get a display that I use year after year. This is about year number 3, and they're still looking fine. They came with pine cones on them, but you could always jazz them up with a little spray snow or glitter. Adding a bow on an older artificial wreath can really bring it back to life. Don't forget to use what you have. And one more thing I wanted to mention would be hanging up stockings. You can put a small brad in the wall, or if you have cabinets, you can put the command strips or whatever and put stockings everywhere. We end up with tons of stockings because Santa comes to my parents' house and leaves stockings for everybody every year there too. So we are stocking rich in this house, so I have them all over my kitchen cabinets, except my kitchen's not really camera ready, and I have them hung in front of my entertainment center and pretty much everywhere. It just adds a festive touch, and hey, we already have them, so it's not costing us any more money. What are your favorite holiday hacks? Leave them in the comments below, and make sure you check out the video description for a playlist of all the DIYs that I mentioned during this video. Thank you so much for watching, and happy holidays from Home and Garden for Mere Mortals.